Marley Benedict. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he is playing Bob Marley in the new movie Bob Marley One Love Story. Which
It appears Hollywood has decided to give the biopic of Bob Marley, One Love, the Hollywood treatment, with pretty much using a non-Jamaican, a non-Caribbean native, a non-West Indian native. His name is Kingsley Benadir, which is very fun to say. However, he is not Jamaican. He is actually a British actor that is not in any way affiliated with Jamaican culture, or knows the language. So this has actually caused a huge backlash in Jamaica and also the diaspora, because we like to see our own portray our culture, especially when it comes on to Patois, our language, our dialect. So clearly this is a cause for concern, because this is Robert Nesta Bob Marley, the great Bob Marley that is being portrayed on the big screens, that's going to be seen all over the world. We want to make sure this is going to be done correctly. So to have an actor that is not Jamaican is, is going to definitely cause some type of stir in Jamaican culture. Like, we definitely are going to say something. Like, we're not just going to sit back and say, like not cause some type of ruckus. So naturally there is going to be some cause of concern in terms of if the actor is going to actually be able to do the job correctly. This is Bob Marley. Anyways, it turns out that the actor actually had a lot of difficulty understanding the language, as he stated here.
But the patois, really, for me, is a different language, I tell you what, we could be in here with two guys from Jamaica who are from somewhere, I don't know, and they could talk for 5-10 minutes and we wouldn't have a clue what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I found myself in that situation a bunch of times, and I was like, well, this is a whole this is a whole thing. This is not something where I can just take 9 months and learn Jamaican. It just was never going to be one of those ones. So we had a whole operation in place. We had 9 specialists on set. We had Jamaican linguists from the university. They wrote my script and the way that I talk in a phonetic language made by Frederick Cassidy. And so it really did, there's parts, I took months to kind of translate everything Bob was saying.
So they put money and time into this film.
Yeah, I was misinterpreting things Bob was saying. Do you know what I mean? It's
what?
I was misinterpreting things he was saying. I wasn't just not understanding. There was things that I thought I understood, and then actually I get a Jamaican to come around to my house and help me translate, and he's going, no, he's saying something else.
Give us an example.
In our farm where Bob would say this thing when he's saying in our farm where, and he's saying in a form where. So it was just a connecting sentence. But little things like that in the middle of conversations throw you, and
in a form
in a form where, it's just an expression that he and Bob talked the way that Bob talked, you know what I mean? So it's
I still don't know what that means. And you said it 3 times. In a form where.
Yeah. So would it be from a standpoint of...
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's just regular
And I
English.
was without Jamaicans, there's no way that I was going to be able to translate something. I mean, and the list goes on. I mean, I had hundreds of pages of Bob talk where I'm like, I don't know what he's saying. So
I just find it very interesting to hear the actor admit to how much he actually struggled to really understand the language of Patois. Even though he grew up around Jamaicans, he really struggled a lot with understanding the language. And also another layer to that is really understanding the speech and the mannerisms of how Bob Marley himself spoke. He had his own little dialect, his own little language, which is very much Jamaican Patois, but he spoke in a very particular way. And to hear how much the actor struggled just to understand that, he took 9 months and still was having issues with understanding the dialect. I'm thinking that if there was an original Jamaican actor that actually had that lead role, because he's not struggling so much with the dialect, the language, he would have taken more time to show the humanity of Bob Marley himself and show more introspection and more downtime and family time, and pretty much focus on how the music was actually made, and really just show us the real side of Bob Marley, show us the more of the family side, more of the husband side, more of the love of the women, how many women that he had, how he got caught up in that mess. I just feel like if we had a true born Jamaican actor that actually played Bob Marley, we would have been able to see a more authentic depiction of the real Bob Marley story. Simple as that. Point blank, period. Okay? No, the reason why I said that the biopic got the Hollywood treatment, because Hollywood has this tendency to really take actors that have very low relatability to the roles that they're about to depict or portray on screen, and use actors that they can pay less or fit a certain look, or fit into a certain box that they deem more marketable, which is very unjust in its way, because if you're going to depict someone's life story, authenticity should be the top priority.
Even
Case in
this whole
point,
thing where,
here.
and first of all, I always want to context this. I love all my brothers from the UK and the diaspora and things of that nature.
It's not about that. Yeah.
But we constantly see them playing Black Americans. And it's like when media or Hollywood finally catches up to tell the stories of Black Americans, they don't get Black Americans to portray. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's this thing where it's like, you want the black face, but you don't want
to be black
culture.
enough.
You don't want the experience.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody connected to it. So it's kind of like, it's like giving reparations to everybody but us.
They don't want us to have nothing. They were
I agree with that.
And so.
I think it was the brother. What was his name? Robert Domingo or something?
Coleman Domingo.
Mm-hmm. And he's a great actor. And after Jonathan Majors, did his Dr. King stint, and they kicked him off. The Robert Domingo brother is playing. He's playing Michael Jackson's father. They've been doing this over and over, and I haven't cracked the code of this conspiracy just yet. Mm-hmm. But when you see an obvious pattern, you know what I mean, then it's a reality. Mm-hmm. It's not something that a person is just imagining, right? And it's nothing wrong. Like, I wouldn't even have known that these weren't black men from America that's connected to these stories. Mm-hmm. But it's like, why is Hollywood constantly casting people?
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. Why is Hollywood constantly casting people that have very low relatability to the significant role that they're about to depict? Specifically, British actors that barely know the actual story, or, really have any broad exposure to the significant role that they're about to play. Like, what is it? What is going on? And that is my question that I pose to anyone that's listening to this. What is this propaganda? Like, what is it? And it's kind of sad to see how the Marleys have approved this. They are they are okay with this. They have put their stamp of approval. They're impressed with the selection of the actor. They handpicked this actor to portray the great Bob Marley. So it's just really interesting to see how they have fall in line with that pattern that really aligns with Hollywood. Is it for box office numbers or money? Or, I really don't think they need the money. I think their intentions are great to really have the story told in the best way possible. However, as a Jamaican, I'm not gonna lie. I feel a way. I mean, no, what it do? I feel that way. And I feel like I go dead pan the hill, yeah, because I can't let it go. However, because the Bob Marley have given their seal of approval, and after watching the movie, the more I actually watched the movie and listened to the actor, his dialect, his patois, saw the telling of the story, I got into it. I personally think it was a great attempt of telling Bob Marley's story. However, clearly there's a lot of things that was a little lacking in the movie, but it was a good attempt. Now, what they should do is get Netflix on it and give us a limited series, give us like 8 episodes, like Champion. Champion is another story for another day. But give us a limited series and really tell the story from the very beginning to the very end. And give us a local Jamaican actor. For example, Dale Elliott. He's phenomenal. He has experience in acting. I think he would be a fantastic pick. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments, and please remember to share and subscribe, and welcome to Jamaican Kojo. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.